after the delta neutral broke on the December contract. So we sat here most of the session at 67.12. It did get up to the 67.16 and then finally broke it and ran right to the daily 2 and fell back down. We busted the weekly ones also. So there were spreads breaking all over the place. The daily and the weekly spreads broke. And the monthly too actually got pierced a little bit also before it came back down. So much more bullish in line with that gamma push um, that the halo picked up this morning with the extra upside gamma tilt index, which means I'm taking multiple days of gamma, and like it ranges from like 10 to 15 days of the gamma profile, and getting that tilt index like a skew to run with the current delta gamma, and those two combined pushed the market above the delta neutral. So it did break delta neutral on the weekly and the daily for the December contract. I got a little bit creative here, trying to say that they were hedging the September expiry that expired this morning, thinking that, it could have been a PM settlement or something like that. That doesn't work like that. So those hedges and everything on the AM settlement are gone. So it did pin at the daily one on the December until it just finally broke late in the session this afternoon. But breaking this weekly one also was kind of key. So these delta neutral positions broke, and in fact, it kind of maybe pushed them off of the monthly as well. So the quarterly, we have some resistance coming up at 67.46, 54, 74, and 82, which we'll keep our eye on, as well as at 67.74. This is your 6-month R ball, 6-month one. So that's going to be a very strong level. So that's just within 1 day's trading range, like daily range. So we'll see what happens if that reaches up to the 67.74 right there. 6-month R ball. And so yeah, we managed to pop a lot of option traders condors today. I'm sure there's not going to be happy people about that. The VIX, continues to flatten out on the 30-day mean, but the 37-day one, um, let me show it to you. We're above the line, above the mean for the 37-day one. These are 23s. Let me change this to 37. I'll just add a 37-day one. There we go. And I just want to, caution you that we're now above the 37-day one R ball. So that could be, a tell if we're trying to get direction, and it's also holding that 23-day one. So I want to just mention that the dealer's max pain was dropped very low to, if I recall right, 64.75. That was a September contract. Let me take a peek at the December. The 22nd. Oh, it went back up 66.60. All right. So we're right there on their max pain for Monday. It did go back up. We dropped down today, but it went right back up. So they didn't get their sell off. Very interesting. So it's back up. I'm glad I looked at that. 66.65. We're sitting on their max pain right now. So this market is just saying they're not going to sell off, right? um, Crazy. I guess, whenever the president of the United States tweets from his desk that he's purchasing Intel, buying that 3, that was crazy. Um, so the monthly 3, um, bought on the tail, it was in the tails. He was tweeting out that he bought it, and it was right at the time that it was bouncing off of that monthly 3. So he must have Jats PT to figure that out. So, um, but for a Friday, when I had my halo stacked in the middle of that silo, I wasn't expecting, for the delta neutral positions to break and not go back inside. So it caused some pain today. People that were holding condors and things got shaken out of their trade. All right. I guess it happens. So really, that leads us to, conclude that the daily 2 is, you should be spreading, the 1, 2, 3 just like it's laid out. And if you had spread the top of that R ball up here at 67.35, you would have been fine instead of the daily one, given that gamma tilt that we showed this morning, irrespective of, my bias that it was more in line for a inside day. So very good. That was a late afternoon pop. It did not also, that theory that it closes back inside delta neutral for SPX did not work either. Did not get back inside. So anyone trying to get it back inside delta neutral for SPX did not work. It did hit the R ball though. It went from the H ball to the R ball. So maybe, those in the know would have traded that R ball, H ball to R ball pop. In fact, I need to add the H ball, the R ball to this screen on my daily. I should have had that up. That would have helped. Here is your JP Morgan. And so that broke the call wall also. So this is the daily 6-month one. 6-month one on the SPX. So 6-month one on the SPX And then here's your 6-month one on the NQ, or the ES, sorry. 67.74, a little bit more. So we could be very, very close to that turnaround. Um, I mean, I know it's, very, very close to where we are. So it's a matter of, 50 points, thereabouts, from the market high. For the, ES to hit its 6-month one, or both. All right. I guess by the time that 50 points comes, um, we're going to be on the day 6 months too, Zagefall, and that definitely would be the sweet spot. So we're coming into the sweet spot. Time for that Christmas pullback. There's still hope. There's still hope for the perma bears. All right. I hope y'all have a good night. That's it for me. It's just very hard to trade a flat VIX tape. I mean, it was flatter, flat, flat, flat. Look how flat this is. So, I mean, it's just, almost impossible to trade. All right. Y'all have a good night. We'll see you next week. Have a good evening.